Listen gently. Before your thoughts run too fast, before your heart shuts the window again, pause. Because someone you loved so much, someone whose soul was wrapped around your childhood, your smile, your tears, your silence, they are speaking your name again in the winds of heaven. This isn't a coincidence. This is a divine moment. A thread from the other side of the veil has just reached toward your heart. They're not gone. They were never gone. They've just been watching from a place where light doesn't end and love doesn't expire. And right now, they're asking you to open this, to read this, as if they're standing beside you again. They saw how lonely your nights have become. They saw how you smile in front of others but cry into your pillow when no one's watching. They saw how people misunderstood your silence, judged your stillness, and questioned your purpose. And they couldn't stay quiet anymore. Heaven allowed this message. Because this is not about them anymore. It's about you. Your soul. Your strength. Your future. And they want you to know, you are not broken. You are not forgotten. You are just waking up. Waking up to who you've always been beneath the pain. They said. Tell them I haven't left. I walk with them still. I see their pain. I touch their dreams. I breathe in the moments when they whisper my name under their breath. I saw them the day they stood in the bathroom alone, asking God for a sign. Tell them this is the sign. Tell them this is what they asked for. Yes. You didn't stumble here. You were guided. By the tears you cried in silence. By the prayers you thought were ignored. By the longing of your soul that even you forgot how to express. They heard it. They carried it. And today, they wrapped it in this message. Because heaven is not far. It's just one heartbeat away. And right now, heaven is pouring into your room, into your hands, into your chest that's been aching for something real, something divine. Something that feels like home. They said. I remember the little things, the way they used to hold my hand, the way they smiled when no one else noticed, the way they believed in people even after being betrayed. They don't even know how powerful they are. They don't know how many storms they survived without ever letting the world see. And I want them to know, I'm proud. Not just because they lived. But because they still love. That kind of heart is rare. That kind of soul is eternal. And beloved, this is not just a message. This is a visit. A sacred interruption. Because when heaven knows you're on the edge of forgetting who you are, it sends someone you'll remember. Someone whose voice is still hidden in the corners of your heartbeat. And they're whispering now, louder than your doubts, stronger than your sadness. Please don't give up on yourself. I see the light that's about to break open in your life. And I came to remind you. You're not alone. You never were. They have been watching you. Not like the world watches, judging, rushing, assuming. No. They've been watching with the eyes of love, eyes that don't blink when you fall, eyes that don't look away when you break, eyes that only see your soul, not your flaws, not your regrets, not your mistakes. Just you. The real you. The you that smiles through pain. The you that wakes up even after nights that felt like drowning. The you that still hopes, even with a tired heart. They whispered in heaven. I saw them that day, when they sat quietly, pretending everything was fine. But I felt their heartbeat shivering. I felt the ache behind their fake smile. I saw how they kept saying, "I'm okay," just so no one would worry. But I worried. I cried for them. Because no one knew what they were carrying. But I knew. I always knew. And today, they could not stay silent anymore. They pleaded before the throne. Let me speak. Let me remind them they were never abandoned. And God, in infinite grace, said, "Go. Go speak their name again. Go touch their chest with the light of what they forgot. Go remind them who they are." So they came, in this message. Not to haunt you. Not to make you cry. But to remind you that love never dies. And real connections are never broken. Not even by death. Do you remember how you used to talk to them before bed? How you'd whisper prayers or share stories or laugh until your chest hurt? They still remember. They kept every word. They hold those memories in heaven like sacred jewels. And when you feel sudden warmth, or hear their favorite song, or smell something familiar out of nowhere, that's them. They've been trying to speak in signs. But today they begged for something more direct. Something clearer. Something urgent. Because they know what's coming. They see what's about to be released over your life. And they want you to know. The delay was not denial. The silence was not punishment. The waiting was preparation. They said, "Tell them I've seen the people who walked away. I saw the promises that shattered. I saw how they were blamed for things they never did. But tell them this, it will all make sense. The story isn't over. God is not finished. They have seen how you felt left behind. How you've asked questions no one could answer. How you felt too much and said too little. But they come now to break that silence. To pour the oil of heaven over your tired heart. They speak not from a grave, but from glory. Not from sorrow, but from sacred love. And they say this: you've always been more than what this world saw. You've always been destined for something higher. Even when you didn't believe in yourself, I did. Even when you wanted to disappear, I was whispering, stay. Just a little longer. Your time is coming. And now, your time is truly here. I've been asking heaven to make a way for me to speak to you directly, not through dreams, not through signs, but through a voice your soul will finally stop and hear. Because you're tired of signs. You've been strong for too long. You've carried too many unanswered questions, too many nights with silent tears, too many mornings where you had to gather yourself before anyone saw the mess behind your smile. I saw it. All of it. Every single moment where you thought no one was paying attention, I was. You didn't even need to speak, your soul cried out for you, and I followed the sound of your heartbreak all the way through the gates of eternity to be here in this moment, with you. You didn't miss me as much as I missed you. I know that sounds strange, but it's true. You live surrounded by people, sounds, memories, distractions, but I live in a place where love echoes forever. And the echo of your love is the loudest one I hear. You might think I'm gone, but I live in the prayers you still whisper, the photos you stare at quietly, the scent that suddenly appears and reminds you of me. I live in the way you've become gentler, the way you've learned to listen more deeply, the way you carry my strength in your silence. I've never stopped loving you. And now, I need you to know, something is coming. Something beautiful. Something you didn't see coming. Something I've been asking God to release into your life for a long, long time. I know how much you've lost. I know what they took from you. The lies. The betrayals. The fake love. The false promises. The ones who said they'd stay and left. The ones who used you and blamed you. The doors that shut before you even knocked. I know how tired your spirit is from fighting invisible battles. I know how often you look strong, but feel like breaking into 1,000 pieces. But listen to me, you didn't lose anything that belonged to your destiny. Not one person who walked away was tied to your purpose. Not one delay was wasted. Not one heartbreak went unseen. Heaven has kept record of every tear, every prayer, every injustice. And God is moving now, not just because it's time, but because your name has been repeated too many times in heaven to ignore anymore. I ask the angels to carry this message to you, not just to comfort you, but to prepare you. Because something is shifting. You've felt it. You've sensed it. And now it's real. The timing is aligning. The chains are breaking. The hidden miracles are rising to the surface. You won't recognize your life a few months from now. And when it happens, when the call comes, the letter arrives, the breakthrough bursts in, I want you to remember this, you are ready. You've already been prepared through the pain. You've already qualified through the silence. You've already earned the favor through your faithfulness. You think I left you, but I've been fighting for you in ways you'll never fully understand. You think I'm silent, but I've been interceding for you, speaking your name before the throne, asking God to give you more grace, more time, more signs. Because I knew there would be moments like this, moments where you'd feel like giving up, moments where you needed something that felt like home. That's why I came now. To remind you, you are still chosen. You are still protected. You are still on time. You are still becoming everything you were meant to be. You didn't miss anything. Nothing is too late. Your miracle hasn't passed you by. It's just beginning to rise. So when the sun sets tonight and the sky turns quiet, close your eyes and place your hand over your heart. That's where I am. That's where I've always been. Not far. Just beyond the veil. Watching. Hoping. Loving. Believing. And whispering into the wind one last thing. Don't give up. You're closer than you think. I'm so proud of you. Keep going. I want you to sit with this for a moment. Not scroll past it, not overthink it, just breathe with it, because this is not just a message, it's a visitation. You have been divinely chosen to read what was hidden from many. You are not forgotten. You are not invisible to the heavens. You are not just surviving, you are being carried, watched over, prayed over, and whispered about in rooms you cannot see. I know you think you're too far behind, too wounded to be chosen, too messed up to matter, but let me be clear, God never changed his mind about you. Not when you cried, not when you failed, not even when you felt unworthy. You see the weight you've been carrying? The questions that loop inside your head late at night? The fear of not being enough, of missing your chance, of being left behind while others rise? Heaven sees that. I saw it first. I knew this day would come, the day you'd feel stuck between holding on and letting go, between trusting again and protecting your heart. And I asked God for something unusual, to borrow just a moment, just a page from your earthly time, to remind you that your name is still glowing in eternity. Nothing, I repeat, nothing, can erase your divine story. Not even you. I have walked with you through places no one else dared enter, your memories, your disappointments, your silent prayers. And today, I want to tell you something you've been waiting to hear: you were never a mistake. Not the timing of your life. Not the way you feel too much. Not the way your heart still loves the ones who broke it. It's all been seen. And now it will be redeemed. There are things in motion right now, in realms you cannot see, that have your name on them. There are people being prepared to favor you. Conversations being held behind doors you thought were closed. Angels are moving in rooms where your name is being written on blessings you never expected to qualify for. The shift is no longer coming. It has begun. And the heaviness you feel is not just sadness, it's the pressure of purpose awakening inside you again. But I must be honest, heaven can't do this alone. You need to agree with it. You need to say yes. You need to stop doubting yourself. Stop repeating the stories of who left, who hurt you, who didn't see your worth. That chapter is over. The only thing you need to carry forward now is faith, faith that something better is not just possible, it's promised. Faith that what's ahead will make sense of what broke you. Faith that you are not too late, in fact, you are right on time. And I want you to listen closely, this is important. You don't need to fight anymore. You don't need to beg anymore. You don't need to prove yourself anymore. You just need to remember. You are seen. You are loved. You are deeply, endlessly chosen. Heaven has not overlooked your name. And I, the one you thought you lost forever, have never stopped speaking your name before God. I've been standing on the edge of glory, whispering. Please make a way for them. Please protect their heart. Please show them that they matter. And now, here you are. Holding the very message I begged heaven to deliver. You didn't miss this moment. It was always meant for you. Always. Let me speak now, not just from memory, but from eternity. You, the one who's reading this with eyes that have seen more than they were meant to, you are closer than you realize. You are standing at the edge of something so divine, so beautifully planned, that even heaven is silent in reverence. What's about to enter your life has been kept hidden for a reason, not because you weren't worthy, but because the timing wasn't ready. But now everything has aligned. And I have been given permission to tell you, your time has come. I know how long you've waited. I know how many birthdays passed while you smiled for others and cried in silence later. I know the quiet dinners, the unanswered calls, the moments where you felt like a ghost in your own life. I saw it all. I held those moments in heaven like fragile pearls. You never went unnoticed. Not by me. Not by God. You thought the silence meant absence. But silence in heaven means something sacred is being arranged. The silence was not rejection, it was preparation. Every delay was protecting something bigger than your understanding. And now, the veil is lifting. Now, your name is being spoken in rooms where doors open by favor, not force. Now, the people who once ignored your presence will begin to feel your absence. Now, the love you gave away so freely will return to you in a form you never imagined. But you must be ready. Not just with your hands, but with your heart. You must open your soul again. You must believe again. You must hope again. Because what's coming cannot land in a heart filled with fear. It needs room. room to bloom, room to bless, room to unfold. So here is what I ask of you now. Let go of the guilt that still sits in your chest like a stone. Forgive yourself for not knowing better. Stop replaying conversations that were never meant to last. Release the names of people who couldn't love you the way you needed. And most of all, stop making yourself smaller just to be acceptable. You were never meant to fit in their boxes. You were meant to break them. This season is different. You won't have to chase. You won't have to prove. You won't have to explain why your heart is so deep, why your silence is sacred, why your eyes look like they've seen too many lifetimes. The right people will see it. The right doors will open. The right moments will meet you. And I will be watching from the place where time doesn't exist, clapping, smiling, crying tears of joy as I watch you finally walk into the life you were always destined for. And when it happens, when the miracle knocks and you open the door, I want you to pause. Look up. Whisper, I know you're watching. Because I will be. I'll be right there. Standing in the light. Proud of you. So proud of you. Because you made it. There's something I never told you while I was on Earth. Something my heart whispered every time I looked at you. But I didn't have the words, or maybe I didn't think time would run out so quickly. But now, with eternity behind me and only truth in my hands, I want to say it, I made a promise to heaven about you. The kind of promise that heaven listens to with stillness. The kind of vow a soul makes not out of desperation, but out of love that refuses to die. I promised I would not stop watching you. I promised I would not let you drown in the weight of your own thoughts. I promised I would find a way, somehow, someday, to remind you that you are still the most beautiful miracle I ever witnessed. That you are still becoming everything I believed you could be. That you are still the reason heaven opened its gates and gave me this moment with you. And so here I am, not as a memory, but as a movement. A whisper in your chest. A stirring in your spirit. A softness that has no explanation. I came to pull you back from the edge of giving up. I came to remind you of the parts of you that you buried just to survive. The laughter that stopped. The creativity you silenced. The child in you that still wants to dream again. I came to tell you. You are not behind. You are not forgotten. You are not too broken to be blessed. You are being reintroduced to yourself, not the version life forced you to become, but the one God originally designed. And listen to me now, this is not about going back. It's about going forward with all the wisdom your pain gave you. The world will see you rise, but they won't know the price. Only heaven knows what it cost you to smile again. Only I know how many times you stayed quiet so others wouldn't feel your weight. Only I know the tears you cried into your own hands. But now, it's your turn. Your turn to be loved like you've always loved others. Your turn to be chosen, not as a second option, but as the only one. Your turn to receive what you were always worthy of, even when you didn't believe it. Your turn to laugh without fear. To breathe without heaviness. To walk into rooms and no longer shrink. To answer calls that change your life. To open letters that restore your inheritance. I see it. I see the light starting to glow in your chest again. I see the sparkle that pain tried to bury. I see the courage returning to your steps. And I want you to know, I'll be there for every part of it. Even if you can't see me, I'll be standing with you. In every quiet triumph. In every silent decision to keep going. In every moment you choose love over fear, grace over bitterness, peace over performance. I made a promise. And I'm keeping it. You will not walk alone again. Not while I still have your name on my lips in heaven. Not while God still writes your story with gold. Not while your soul still carries the glow of eternity. You've been asking heaven the same questions for a long time now. Why did it have to happen like that? Why did they leave when I needed them most? Why do I feel everything so deeply, and yet still feel so alone? I heard all of it. Not just the words, but the ache behind the words. The cries you never spoke aloud. The moments you looked up at the ceiling and just whispered, "God, please." I heard that too. And I want to tell you, everything is about to make sense. Very soon. You are standing in a space between what was and what will be. It feels uncertain. It feels strange. But it's sacred. It's the place where heaven holds its breath just before it blesses. It's the stillness before the outpouring. And I came now to tell you, the outpouring is coming. And when it hits, you will understand why certain people had to go. Why some doors were sealed. Why your heart was protected through rejection. Why heaven had to hide you when you wanted to be seen. Because what is about to enter your life is not ordinary. It carries weight. It carries purpose. It carries glory. And it needed you to be ready, not perfect, just open. And now, you are. Not because the pain disappeared, but because you decided to rise even while bleeding. Because you chose to trust even when your hands were trembling. Because you held on to God when your world fell apart.